Can you walk us through the evaluation process on Coach Smart from when Mr. Lacob got back from the Board of Governors meeting?
We spent some time having some telephone conversations, even at the time that he was at the Board of Governors meeting, and we did hold off on having major meetings. There were some discussions by phone, as I said. Then we did have the basketball ops group of people get together and spend some time discussing it. And the basketball ops people being myself, Bob Myers, Travis Slink, and Kirk Lacob. We went over some of those things, and Joe also came in and was a part of that. We exchanged a lot of thoughts and went through a lot of things, basically plus minus type of thing throughout the organization. Not necessarily just coaching, but for the Golden State Warriors as a whole. We arrived at a decision, I would say, after some period of time. I would not know exactly whether it took 5 or 6 days from that meeting. There were a lot of telephone calls and back and forth between Joe and I, and we finally did come to the conclusion that this was the right thing to do for the Warriors and that we need to move forward and we needed to take this step. We're solid with that decision. It's difficult because of the personality of a guy like Keith Smart, the quality of an individual that he was, and the fact that he's totally professional. And so in that regard, there's some difficulty associated with it. The other side of it is that we're making a move to go forward. That's a direction we've taken.
What were the deciding factors in not retaining him?
I won't get into negative stuff about anything regarding our coaching staff, any of them. The main thing is that we do feel like we need a new direction, and we're going to go out, seek the best coach that we can get for this organization and take us in that direction. I have said on record, and I believe in this, Keith did a good job of getting our players to play right to the end. We had a good locker room. He did some good things for us. Our business is such that these things happen, and it never makes them easier. And then it's particularly more difficult when you've got a quality guy. I've worked with Keith on the bench for a couple years, and I've enjoyed the association that I've had with him, and that's what makes these kind of things difficult. We will end up having to do a good bit of soul searching, so to speak, regarding the interview process and that kind of thing. We obviously have some ideas as to what we'd like to see, but we're going to keep those among ourselves at this time. And I do think that the record of an individual always plays into it some, but that's not necessarily the only thing. There are people who deserve a break and who are ready for it. We'll be looking at those kinds of things. We'll be looking at the overall picture.
Have you started contacting anybody yet?
No. It would. I just don't think it would be the right thing if we had headed off in that direction. Now, my phone has been ringing off the wall since just a couple hours ago, as you can imagine. But we will make some contacts, of course, and it'll be done soon, but there's no time frame, and it's hard to say. We're not under the gun here to do something as far as time is concerned. Our effort is to get the best candidate that we can get and get him into our head coaching position and move forward. What we would like to see is some stability now once we make the next selection. And I think everybody looks at situations and would assess it as though if you get the right guy and you keep him there for a few years, things flow a lot better and you have a lot better opportunity. It's difficult to keep coaches for a long time in this business. There are a few, but we know that for the most part, there's quite a bit of change in our business. We would like to get the right guy and get stability.